Hey guys, welcome back to the Subtropical Food Forest. My name's Josh, and today I wanted to chat to you a little bit about the sort of like the evolution of the tropical section of my food forest. Now this is my favourite section. I love the jungle. I usually go on holidays up to Tully in Queensland, which is like the most jungly area in Australia. Now our food forest, this section's been going for probably 4 years, though really I did a major transformation about 3 years ago. And I'll put up a photo now. And this was the food forest back when I was really getting the section started. You can see there's these old palm trees we had to clear away. It was quite a bit of work. And now if we flick back forward to today, there's been quite a difference. Personally, I think my front yard looks far better now. I want to go through and show you, we've just done a major chop and drop, show you some of the things that's happening here. I recently put up a video of my Rollinia. I did pollinating, hand pollinated, which is in this section. Okay, so at the start here we have our red Dhaka bananas. I just chopped down 2 of them who had finished for the flowering and fruiting. They're absolutely delicious bananas. They turn a nice rich red color on the outside. They're still yellow in the middle. They have the best flavor, I think, of all the bananas. They're like a Cavendish, but they're far more intense and creamy. They're absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely love them. A lot of this mulch on the bottom is chop and drop from those bananas I recently chopped down. And that's one of the beauties of the food forest now. At the start we used to have to buy mulch to put in here, and now the actual food forest provides enough of its own chop and drop just by trimming everything back. As you can see, there's quite a bit on the ground around here. This guy's a relatively new avocado I put in. It's a Hass avocado. I'm expecting some good growth from it this year. It's been in maybe 6-8 months. It hasn't done a whole great deal, though it did have a big banana over the top of it, which has now been removed. We also have elderberry. We use flowers on this in pancakes. My wife's German, and that's just something they traditionally use. You'd also use the berries to make cordial, which is really good. And they're a super easy plant to grow. They don't require much attention at all. In here we have a couple of jaboticabas. These guys are pretty slow growing. I'm hoping to get some flowers and fruit off these guys this year. We had problems with root girdling on one of them, which I fixed up this year. Over the back here we have a Thai guava. He's been a little bit overshadowed by the bananas as well, but he's still coming along quite well. He's actually currently putting on a few new fruit. If you can see up there, these guys don't really seem to have a season here. They just flower and fruit basically all the time. It doesn't really seem to matter what time of year it is for these guys, and they get really big, sort of like a softball, baseball sized fruit. And they're really crispy. They're one of my favorite guavas. They're really nice. This is my new little jackfruit. I think I've shown in a video before. This guy I grew from seed. He's just slowly growing away. After winter he'll start growing a little bit faster. This guy's not an abiyu, it's an chacha, or a chacharu. I grew him from seed as well. I got him from a couple fruit from the shop to try. Absolutely loved him, so I've started growing that guy, and he will be planted in here sometime soon. Around the back here we have custard apple. It's hanging over the back here. It's sort of looking a bit sad because it's winter, and that's normal for our custard apples here. This is my larger avocado. This is a shepherd avocado. We're currently the end of June. You can see it's getting ready to flower. You can see the buds picking up in there. If I show you in here, there's one that's a little bit further along. You can see they're about to burst out in flowers. Now this year, or sort of last season, we got about 30 or 40 avocados off this tree. You can see he's a fairly decent size now. He's probably almost 4 meters high. This year I'm hoping to get quite a few more than that. But they're really nice avocados. They plumped up really nice. This is our Monsteria delicious. They grow a real interesting fruit. My granddad used to grow these, so I have eaten them before, and they taste sort of like fruit salad. I can't wait to show you these once they actually start fruiting, because they're just they're absolutely bizarre. They're really interesting fruit. But they're a gorgeous looking plant, especially for the jungle section. I think in the last jungle section video, this stump it's growing up, that was a Panama berry, which I've now chopped down because it was shade and everything too much. And the Monsteria are delicious. You see, if you plant one beside a stump, I haven't tied that on at all, they'll simply start growing up that stump. So yeah, it should look really nice once it gets up to the top of that. And you can see a couple ropes there. I've got, because this avocado was getting shaded a lot on this side, pretty much all its growth went off the other side. So I'm just pulling it back a little bit, and I'm a little bit worried with the weight of the fruit this coming season. It might bend it over further. So that's sort of just a little insurance that it keeps going the way we want. The Rollinia, if you want to learn more about that, I've got 2 videos now on the pollination and fruit set. We've got a whole bunch of fruit in here. I've got them bagged up at the moment. And he's got about 15 or 16 fruit on him now. He's coming along really nicely. This is a vanilla vine I grew from cutting from a vine I have out the back. I think it makes it look a lot more jungly when you have vines growing up your trees. Plus, the vanilla will be really nice when we do get that. And see, all the way through here, this has all been chopped and dropped. And there's a variety of things, like we have turmeric growing. Actually, I might come around this way. We got turmeric growing down underneath of all this. It's recently been chopped down, the turmeric. I can probably show you in here. There's a lot of turmeric under the ground here. You can see there. Actually, I'll just snap a bit off. This turmeric, I have more turmeric than I possibly know what to do with. Pretty much all under this food forest is full of these turmeric rhizomes, and they'll come back up again in spring. I can dig up and use as much as I like, basically. You can see it's quite yellow in the middle there, and there's, yeah, like I said, this stuff's everywhere. It's got to be one of the easiest things to grow. Simply stick it in the ground and your turmeric will come up everywhere, and that's part of what's, like I said, it's chopped all around here. If I come through this way, we have a second avocado here, which is a reed avocado. It's growing right beside my shepherd avocado to help pollinate each other. One's a type A and the other is a type B. They don't seem to flower at exactly the same time though. Like, you'll see this guy, he hasn't really got his buds on yet. Though last year we really only had the shepherd flower, and we got really nice pollination just with one. So I don't think it really too much matters. Though in the future it might be handy for a little cross pollination. This is my larger achacharu. These again are a really slow growing tree. He's gotten up to, if I bended him straight, he'd be over 6 foot tall now. He's grown a lot more this year than he did the previous year. And these guys, I think they can take up to 8 years to actually get fruit on them. Though they're well worth it. The fruit on these guys, they have like a little orange fruit which tastes absolutely amazing. These are definitely one of my favorite fruit, and they're well worth growing. This is a relatively new black sapote, or chocolate pudding fruit. He's probably up 8-9 foot tall now. I planted him maybe a year ago. He is a grafted tree. It's a Tahiti black sapote is a variety. He's growing really nicely. He did put on a couple flowers which I actually took off because I wanted him to put his energy into growing. So I would say he'll probably start flowering again really soon. There's another new avocado I've put in. This is a Edronol avocado. These guys are supposed to be absolutely amazing tasting. I've never actually eaten one before. But I want him to grow up and fill up this corner section. It looks like he's about to put on flowers. Though if he does put any fruit on, I'll take them all off anyway, because the tree's just far too small for that. I want his energy going into growing up. They make a nice big strong tree. Here we have a new pepper vine, which you can see I put this post in. It's growing up this post. I'd say it'll probably still be a year or so before I start getting any pepper off it. But this is like your traditional black pepper. Real interesting plant. Grows quite well. We'll have another bigger one around the side. I'll probably show you in a future video. He's maybe a little bit too shaded in here. As we come more into spring with the chop and drop I've done, he should get a little bit more sun now. These bananas, you can see there's a big bunch up here. These are Pinsang Ceylon bananas. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that. They're a very, very tall banana. You can see I've got a support in there holding it up because they do blow over in storms. These are one of my favorite eaten bananas as well. They have a very thin skin and just a real nice, almost citrusy flavor to them. Absolutely love them. Now over here you can see this is my loquat tree. This is just a seedling loquat. You can see we have another vanilla vine I've put up, growing up through the middle of it. And if I come back this way, you can see he's flowering and putting fruit on at the moment. This is normal. Generally they flower in autumn/winter here. They attract a lot of bees as well, and the smell from these flowers is absolutely magic. I love it when this thing's flowering. Anyways, as I was saying, it's handy now. We no longer have to buy and you sort of bring in mulch. All the mulch that's on the ground here, which is a pretty thick, it's quite a thick bed of mulch. This is all simply from Chop and Drop. It produced all of its own mulch, and the only fertilizing this whole section is going to get this year is a little bit of rooster booster, which is a pelletized chicken manure. Apart from that, it's going to be surviving just on the nutrients from the Chop and Drop. Doing it sort of the way nature intended. Okay guys, so that was a look at my front jungle section of the food forest. As you can see, it's come along quite a way since the last video we had, I think, which was about a year ago. I'm super happy with the way it's progressing. I'm expecting a lot of growth out of everything this year. Anyways, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It makes a really big difference and I really appreciate it. And until next time, thanks very much.